Hello and welcome to another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I am here at the News Forum where all voices matter. Well, it's time for our esteemed guests of the monthly panel. They are back with us today. The Honorable Joe Oliver, former Finance Minister and Natural Resources Minister for the Government of Canada. We have the Honorable Gary Marr, former Alberta Cabinet Minister and now head of the Canada West Foundation, and the Honorable Sandra Pupatello, Ontario Senator and former Trade Minister for Ontario as well. Welcome back, all of you.
Great to be
Thanks.
with you.
I guess,
Terrific to be here.
oh, it's great, great to have you guys back. As always, we enjoy the discussion. I guess my first general question, maybe I'll ask Joe first, is I just want to get your general impression, how you would characterize the state of the Canadian economy right now. Joe, would you want to start us off?
Well, I understand, from projections by the Bank of Canada and others that we're going to have modest growth. They're not anticipating a recession, but forecasters almost never do. Um, so we're looking for less than average growth. I think the projection was something between 1.1 and 1.6% for fiscal uh, uh, 2026. Unlike the Americans who are really on a roll right now, and discounting the hyperbole from Trump and Lutnick and so on, we're talking about 5 or 6%. We're looking at a probable growth rate in the United States about double that of Canada. And of course, hidden in all that is the GDP per capita, which measures personal prosperity, and that's been a continuing problem for Canada. So we're confronted, unlike in the past, with a trade war whose resolution is extremely uncertain. I mean, the latest thing, as we all know, was talk by Trump of a 100% tariff, which I don't think is going to happen, but it sort of sets a rather discouraging, if not alarming, tone. The Canadian economy is supposed to be moving ahead somewhat, but sort of modestly, and we still have the underlying problem of poor productivity,
Right.
and how that'll be addressed by the government's desire and laudable desire to diversify markets is we will have to see, because first of all, there's a limit to how much can be done,
Mhm.
and secondly, how rapidly it's going to happen. It's not something that happens overnight. I mean, you can have
Mhm. Mhm.
announcements overnight, and that's in fact what we've been getting. But the actual core economic results from some of these arrangements will take time. So I'm. It
Right.
depends whether you're half full or half empty, but the glass is no more than half full. I'll tell you that.
Sandra, let me ask you a slightly different question. Canadians in polling seem to be optimistic about the economy and our chances in 2026. Do you think that's justified?
Well, I do. I do think that a lot of the consternation around the comments that the president of the US makes, we're starting to learn, taco is what was coined by the Americans over the behavior of their own president, that he says a lot that doesn't actually materialize. Less than 30% of those threats of tariffs on other countries actually materialized as well. So there is a hope that there is talk. He said this past week, do we really need Kuzma anymore? Aren't we past that now? And that even the markets are not reacting as strongly to the statements that he seems to be making. And that might give us some pause to think, okay, we might be okay here. Yes, we have to do this review, but it might work out. The business people in America are starting to sound the alarm, because as much as they tout how many trillions they're raising in tariffs, those trillions are coming from, in fact, their own businesses. And that's becoming clearer by the day. So I do think that that will start to have an impact on the president and his behavior as those midterms get closer. and he realizes that the polls are not looking that great right now, and that might start to modify the behavior. That just happens to line up with when we're getting into these negotiations
Right,
with the US on the USMCA. So that could be to benefit us, and I think people can feel that. We didn't have the
right.
harsh impact that we thought we would have because people are consuming more Canadian products, and it
Sure.
is making a difference in our economy.